Okay, so today I'm going to give you some help for Module 4, Lesson 12. I'm actually going to show you the homework, some of the problems from the homework, and I'm going to show you what the homework is right now. Okay, so math, page 58, number 1, page 59, number 3, and page 60, number 4. All right, if you want to do number 6, excuse me. Number 4 is the bonus. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and start with number 1 and also give you number 3, just the setup. So you're going to have to finish it up. All right, Terrence finished a word search in 3/4 the time it took Frank. Charlotte finished the word search in 2/3 the time it took Terrence. Frank finished the word search in 32 minutes. How long did it take Charlotte to finish the word search? So as if you could see here, we have Terrence had 3/4 the time of Frank. Then we have Charlotte, who finished in 2/3 the time of Terrence. All right? And we know that Frank is 32 minutes. So that's a given. Okay? So our first one is Terrence. We need to find Terrence before we can find Charlotte. So here we have Terrence, and we know that Frank, he did 3/4 of Frank, and Frank's 32. So for Terrence, we have 3/4, so we're going to divide this into 3/4 or fourths and shade in 3. So this is what I'm looking for Terrence. Okay? 3/4 the time of 32 of Frank's. Okay, so most of you can see the setup right there. If you were paying attention in class, it's a straightforward setup. But I know there's some people that don't get it. So we have Terrence is our question mark here. Once we find Terrence, we can do C. Okay? So I'm going to go ahead and do Charlotte really quick and show you Charlotte. So once we find Terrence, then we can find Charlotte, who this time we're doing it into thirds, and she is 2/3. Okay? So the setup is there. You have to find out what 2/3 or 3/4 of Frank is, 32, and no, that's how many Frank is, 32. Don't think that's the answer. So we know that it's going to be more than half because 3/4 is more than half. So our answer is going to be more than half of 32, which is half of 32 is 16. So our answer should be higher than 16. That's the only hint I'm going to give you. Now, when we go down to Terrence, Charlotte, it's 2/3. So we know it's going to be less than 32 because it's actually less than Frank and less than Terrence. So I should draw this over again to kind of simulate that. Okay, so for Charlotte, it's going to be the same length as Terrence, or close to it, because our total here, our top number, is Terrence, and we're going to divide it into thirds. And Charlotte is 2/3. So we know it's less than Terrence. Okay, I'm not doing the math for you. I'm setting up the tape diagrams to help you figure it out. Okay? So we know there's multiplication because even in our expression here, we have an expression right here Oops, sorry about that. Here's our expression. We just have to find out what Frank is, and that's right there. And then we have another expression already, but we have to find out what Terrence is. After we find this out, we can use that number for Terrence. So then we can figure out how long it took Terrence, or Charlotte, to complete the word search. All right, next one. In an auditorium, 1/6 of the students are 5th graders, 1/3 are 4th graders, and 1/4 of the remaining students are 2nd graders. This one sounds similar to our flower one from the classroom. So if you were paying attention to that one, you'll see some similarities. First of all, we're going to do a whole group. We also know that a whole group is 96. So we have a whole bunch of kids in the auditorium. And we know that if there are 96 students in the auditorium, how many are 2nd graders? So first, we know that in the auditorium, there's 96. We know that 1/6 of them are 5th graders. 1/6 of them are 5th graders. That's a small amount, so I'm going to put it over here. And that's 1/6. Okay. 1/3 of them are 4th graders. Oops. 1/3 of them are 4th graders. All right. Make that a little bit larger because I know that it is larger. Okay, so this is my 3rd graders. And 1/4 of the remaining are 2nd graders. So of this part, only 1/4 are 2nd graders. Okay, but we still need to find out what our remaining students are. So how are we going to do that? Well, it's basically our 96 is going to be our telling here. And we have 1/6 and 1/3 of 96 for the 5th graders and 1/3 for the 4th graders. You can do them separate, or as we've been learning in class, we know that these two can be added together and then multiplied, so we only need to do it once. So we have the 1/6 and the 1/3, and we're going to add them together to get how many students are 5th grade and 4th grade. Then we're going to subtract that from the 96. Oh, I think I did too much for you. Yes, I did. I did too much. But that's the beginning. Once you get your answer for that, you're going to subtract it from 96. So I can use the brackets here. I didn't show you this in class. Okay? But basically what's in brackets, you're going to subtract it from the 96 to find out how many 5th graders and 4th graders there are. Okay? So this equals how many 4th and 5th graders. Actually, no, sorry. With the subtraction, it's how many remaining. So we have this remaining students here. Okay. I'll choose the purple. Then after we find the remaining students, we're going to use that number. Actually, I'm going to put it in that color that I have it, the question mark right there, right? We're going to find 1/4 of the remaining students. So after we figure that out, we are going to do 1/4 of the remaining students. All right, hopefully that's helpful. The bell is rung, so I have to go.